नंदन व्रज जनरंजन अभय चरणारविंद भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय। विश्वगुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna everyone. Today we have with us a blessed devotee who has been serving the movement of Srila Prabhupada since more than 15 years. And Prabhu has been heading a division in ISKCON Bangalore of public relations. Prabhu meets with many different media persons and celebrities. And Prabhu has been a very good writer as well. So Prabhu has been instrumental in compiling a book that you will have read, IQ, EQ and SQ. And so we welcome His Grace Mahotsaha Chaitanya Prabhu, and Prabhu will be taking today's Srimad.
Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Reading from Shrimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 3, Text number 25. Atha Asau Yuga Sandhyayam Atha Asau Yuga Sandhyayam Dasyu Prayeshu Rajasu दस्युप्रायेषु राजसु जनिता विष्णुयशः जनिता विष्णुयशसो नाम्ना कल्किः जगत्पतिः नाम्ना कल्किर्जगत्पतिः अथासौ युगसंख्यायां दस्युप्रायेषु राजसु जनिता विष्णुयशसो नाम्ना कल्किर्जगत्पतिः अथासौ युगसंख्यायां दस्युप्रायेषु राजसु जनिता विष्णुयशसो नाम्ना कल्किर्जगत्पतिः
अथासौ
युगसंख्यायां दस्युप्रायेषु राजसु जनिता विष्णुयशसो नाम्ना कल्किर्जगत्पतिः अथासौ युगसंख्यायां दस्युप्रायेषु राजसु जनिता विष्णुयशसो नाम्ना कल्किर्जगत्पतिः अथासौ युगसंख्यायां दस्युप्रायेषु याजसु जनिता विष्णुयशसो नाम्ना कल्किर्जगत्पतिः अथासौ युगसंख्यायां दस्युप्रायेषु राजसु जनिता विष्णुयशसो नाम्ना कल्किर्जगत्पतिः. What word meanings? Atha, thereafter. Asau, the same Lord. Yuga Sandhyayam, at the conjunction of the yugas. Dasyu, plunderers. Prayeshu, almost all. Rajasu, the governing personalities. Janita will take his birth. Vishnu, named Vishnu. Yashasaha, surnamed Yasha. Namna, in the name of. Kalkihi, the incarnation of the Lord. Jagatpatihi, the Lord of the creation. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. Thereafter, at the conjunction of two yugas, the Lord of the creation will take his birth as the Kalki incarnation and become the son of Vishnu Yasha. At this time, the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunderers. Please repeat. Thereafter, at the conjunction of two yugas, the Lord of the creation will take his birth as the Kalki incarnation and become the son of Vishnu Yasha. At this time, the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunderers. Purport. Here is another foretelling of the advent of Lord Kalki, the incarnation of Godhead. He is to appear at the conjunction of two yugas, namely at the end of Kali Yuga and the beginning of Satya Yuga. The cycle of the four yugas, namely Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali, rotates like the calendar months. The present Kali Yuga lasts 432,000 years, out of which we have passed only 5,000 years after the battle of Kurukshetra and the end of the regime of King Parikshit. So there are 4,27,000 years balance yet to be finished. Therefore, at the end of this period, the incarnation of Kalki will take place, as foretold in the Shrimad Bhagavatam. His father's name, Vishnu Yasha, a learned Brahmana, and the village Samhal are also mentioned. As above mentioned, all these foretellings will prove to be factual in chronological order. That is the authority of Shrimad Bhagavatam. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namne Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. As all of us are seeing what is unfolding in the media, social media, everything, all eyes are on Pahalgam currently. After what has happened recently, all news channels everywhere, this is what is the only news going on, and everybody has their opinion, and some are pushing for war. So many things are going on, and one notable point from the accounts of people who were in the incident, who were victims' families, was that the terrorists asked the people about their religion and then killed them or murdered them. So from the light of Krishna consciousness, if we have to see, the people who killed them in the name of religion by asking for religion, and the people who died by stating whatever their religion was, both are not dharma. According to Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada says many places, we have all heard, I'm not a Hindu, I am not a Muslim, I am not a Christian. Hindu, Muslim, Christian, all these are bodily designations, Prabhupada says. So it is not Prabhupada is not saying this as a whimsical statement or a statement on his own. In fact, the Shrimad Bhagavatam begins with this very statement of what is actual dharma and what should be accepted and what should be rejected. The very second shloka of Shrimad Bhagavatam, first canto, the chapter Questions by Sages, it starts with, the second shloka is Dharma projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam Vedyam vastavamatra vastu shivadam tapatrayon mulanam Shrimad Bhagavate Mahamunikrute kim va parairishvaraha Sadyo hridya varudyate atra kritivihi shushrushubistakshanat. So what is the meaning of this? Dharma projita kaitavotra. Kaitava dharma. Dharma projita kaitavotra. That means actually kaitava dharma projita atra. Completely rejecting all the religion, all dharma which are materially motivated. Kaitava dharma means religion which is materially motivated. What is Bhagavatam is being described by the author. in the second shloka. What is Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam begins by completely rejecting all the so-called religion which are materially motivated. And what does Bhagavatam do? This Bhagavata Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are pure in heart. This highest truth, what is this highest truth? Is reality distinguished from illusion. Vedyam vastavam. Vastavam. What is actual truth? Atra vastu shivadam. And it is very auspicious. How it is auspicious? Because it will tapatrayon moolanam. It will relieve one from tapatraya. What is tapatraya? Three kinds of miseries. What are the three kinds of miseries that everyone is subjected to? Adhyatmika, Adidaivika and Adibhautika kleshas. So Shrimad Bhagavatam helps in bringing auspiciousness, Shivadam, because it is Tapatrayon Moolanam. It removes these three miseries. And why is it so? Because it is Mahamunikrite. It is made by, it is brought out by Shrimad Bhagavatam is brought out actually by Shukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit, but it is put into writing here and we are all getting it because of the Mahamuni Vyasadeva who compiled this at the maturity of his spiritual realization on the instructions of his spiritual master Narada Muni. And what will it do? Sadhyo hrudi avarudhyate. It will remove all the misgivings in the heart. And therefore, one should attentively listen to this. And if one attentively listens to it, if attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, he becomes attached to the Supreme Lord. This is the statement of what is Shrimad Bhagavatam propounding, and that is real dharma. What is real dharma? Real dharma is that which creates attachment to the Supreme Lord and establishes one in reality distinguished from illusion. What is reality? What is illusion? Illusion is currently what every one of us are thinking. I am this body. Nobody thinks grossly I am this body. But we have given so many identities which are actually bodily identities. Say I am Hindu, I am Indian, I am this, I am that, so many, I am man, I am woman, I am man, I am young, I am old. All these are pertaining to the body. So that is illusion. Why is it illusion? Because none of these are eternal. And because they are not eternal, whatever we do, assuming that to be ourselves, will not last. If I think I am man, soul is not man. When you quit this body, the soul may again enter into a next body, you may get a female body. Even if you think I am a human being, you may not be born as a human being next life, you may become animal. So soul is none of this connected to body, so that is illusion. So what Shrimad Bhagavatam does is Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivadam. It distinguishes illusion from truth. It will establish the truth. So this beautiful Bhagavatam is compiled by Sri Vyasadeva, rejecting all the other Kaitava Dharma. What is this Kaitava Dharma? What is other religion? What are other religions talking according to this? What Bhagavatam is rejecting is all other religious books or scriptures or codes of conduct or whatever, all of them are teaching something good for the human society, no doubt. But that is not, in the ultimate sense, it is not useful, because it is not establishing Vedyam Vastavam Atra Vastu Shivadam. It is not doing that. It's only reinforcing the illusion. It is like this. Prabhupada gives very nice example of this. That somebody is in the prison. We will take this analogy a little further by making it into a story. Once there were three friends, Lalu, Balu and Kalu. These three friends, Lalu, Balu and Kalu, they got into some trouble because they all plotted something and they committed some crime. They got caught. Now they landed in the prison. They were put into the jail. So all three of them together, they had committed crime, whatever. So they landed in the jail. After landing in the jail, now they were all given cells. They were lodged in some prison cells, and they were given tasks to do. And there was a prison. In prison, there are prison rules, prison laws. Law book is there, and then the jailer is there who is, implementing all these rules, and everyone is supposed to abide by these rules. So even Lalu, Balu, Kalu also were subject to that, and they were given some tasks, everything. So in this, what happened? Balu, as soon as he went there and this thing, after getting little adjusted, he understood what is the prison's rules, how it should be followed. If we follow this, how we can be in good books with the jailer. So he followed everything very nicely. Very soon he became a role model prisoner for the prison, jailer's favorite. So he was given the responsibility of handling all other prisoners. He is considered to be the leader of the prisoners, representative of the jailer, and he has privileges. He can move around the prison freely within the prison. He need not be confined only to his cell, and he can eat extra chapatis. If others are getting 2, he can get 3. So Balu had a good time in the jail. Then there was Kalu. Kalu resented being in the jail from the first. Thought, somehow I got trapped. If I was little more smart, I would have escaped. No problem. I will not listen to all these people's rules, whatever it is. I will break rules here also further. I will show them what I am. I will do what I want to do. I am the owner of nobody can control me. What do they think? And he broke the rules, laws. He will beat up other prisoners. He will take away their blanket. He will eat from their plate, pick up his thing. So, the jailer noticed all these things, put him into solitary confinement, further punishment. So, that was Kalu. Then there was Lalu. Lalu was also there. He was observing everything, what is happening. And then he was told that if you follow everything nicely, exemplary, you behave as it is required in this thing, but if you really want to get out of the prison, he wanted to get out of the prison. He was regretting. Somehow I committed this crime. I don't belong here. I have to go out. What to do? How do I go out? He came to know that if he is able to write an appeal to the government, no, I have reformed, please give me a chance. Then if the government considers, he may be able to get out. Then he came to know that on a one very special day, like Independence Day, the head of the government will come. And that day they will select among those who have appealed, they will select the best people and they will release them. And finally, by writing the appeal, by following everything nicely, and by attracting the attention of this government, then the special day when it came, Balu was one of the people who got selected. No, Lalu. And he got released. Now these are the three examples. What are these? What do these three represent? This is the analogy. These three actually represent the types of people in this world. One type of people are what Balu was. They are called karmis. They want to follow everything nicely, get best benefit of the world, utilize all the assets, utilize this thing, and enjoy. They don't realize that they are in prison. Oh, I am getting best comforts in the prison. This is nice. Let me be here. Then there is Kalu. Their first people are karmis, means those who do punya. Punya jivis, they are called punyas, punya karmis. Pious people, so-called pious people. Then impious people or miscreants, there is Kalu. Further, already who come to prison by doing crime, again do more crime there, create more trouble. So they get into more and more trouble, they get confined, they get into solitary confinement, so many problems. The third category, Lalu, are those who are devotees. Somehow or other, Prabhupada says, somehow or other, my dear Lord, I have fallen into this ocean of illusion. Please, I realize my mistake and now, please let me come back to you. Please give me a chance. This is the way devotees behave. What is Hare Krishna mantra? Is actually this. That's why Prabhupada says that it's a helpless cry of a child to its mother. Hare Krishna mantra. Of course, the further more mature understanding is please engage me in your service. But even at a lower stage, to realize that, oh, I have fallen into this material world. I don't belong here. This is not my home. My home is with the Lord. I have to go back home. And to call out to the Lord, please take me back home, is also one meaning of Hare Krishna mantra in that sense. So therefore, devotees are those who are not satisfied by just remaining in this material world. So Bhagavata dharma is actual dharma. What is Kaitava dharma? Kaitava dharma is all other scriptures which you are talking about, including the so-called Hindu scriptures also. Now Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, why Srila Prabhupada picked Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam to give to all of us is because it is not Prabhupada's whimsical idea. In fact, Bhagavad Gita is the summary of all the Upanishads and Bhagavatam is the ripened fruit of all Vedic wisdom. And as we will read further, we would have read in the Bhagavatam, so many scriptures are there, even in among the Vedic domain, each one giving its own interpretation, directions, do this, do that, do this, do that. All of them are like codes or laws given to have a good life within the prison house of material world. So what these scriptures do, whether it be the various Vedic literature or it may be of any other religion, say Bible or Quran or any other scripture, they are all telling people, don't do papa, don't commit sins, be pious, do punya. It is like telling in the prison house to the prisoners, don't do mischief again, be good prisoner. They are teaching how to be good prisoner in the prison house. But the speciality of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam is, especially now for example in Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna started in the first chapter, he said, how can I kill? I will get sin if I kill all these people in the Kurukshetra, he told. Sin will overcome me. He was afraid of sin. What did Krishna conclude with? The last, in the 18th chapter, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo Mokshayishyami. I will relieve you from all the sinful reactions. Arjuna was afraid that I will be overcome with sinful reaction by killing. He said, don't worry, I will take out all sinful reactions. If you do what? If you give up all your mental ideas, Sarva Dharman, this Dharma here means whatever Arjuna had thought is Dharma, that Dharma, Parityajya, give up. Mamekam Sharanam, just do what I am saying. Then I will take care of all your sinful reactions. So in other words, Krishna is saying, Arjuna, don't do papa. Correct, that is good. What Vedas are saying, don't do papa. But I am telling you, don't do punya also. Then what should I do? Do what I want you to do. That's why the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 55th was the last chapter, shloka of the 11th chapter. It says, Prabhupada calls that chapter, that shloka, here it is. Now you have to tell which is that shloka. I will read out the purport. First line of the purport, you tell me which is this shloka. What first line? Here it. Yes. The first paragraph it is there. This verse is considered to be the essence of Bhagavad Gita. It is the 11th chapter's last verse. Anybody knows? After seeing in mobile. Not seen. Very good. Wonderful. Yes, it is. Mat karma krin mat paramo mat bhakta sanga varjitaha nirvairah sarva bhuteshu yas samami iti pandavaha. So this is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. What is he saying? Mat karma krin, do my work. Why? Because mat paramo, because what I am saying is the supreme. Mat paramo. By that what will happen? Mat bhaktaha, you will become my devotee. So what if I become your devotee? Sangha varjitaha. Then you will not have anything to do with all these people in material world. Sangha varjitaha. You will become detached from everyone. So if I become detached from everyone, that means I don't care for anyone? No, actually, nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu. You will not have any enemies. You will not look at anyone, this is my enemy, he is my friend. You will see everyone as spirit soul, part and parcel of me. Nirvairaha sarva bhuteshu. Then only when you have this vision, yah samami iti pandavaha, then I will consider you are mine. So Krishna wants Arjuna to behave in such a way that Krishna should say, you are mine. And Arjuna is, of course, as you know, he is representing all of us. We all belong to Krishna, we are Krishna's. But none of us say, I am Krishna's. We will say, I am Indian, I am Hindu, I am this, I am that. Here Krishna is saying, no, mat kar. You tell, you should become mine. How to become? Says, if you do my work. Mat kar makar. So do my work. So Prabhupada writes very nicely, what is that my work? As far as work is concerned, one should transfer his energy entirely to Krishna conscious activities. No work should be done by any man except in relationship to Krishna. This is called Krishna Karma. One may be engaged in various activities, but one should not be attached to the result of his work, but the result should be done for him. For example, one may be engaged in business, but to transform that activity into Krishna consciousness, one has to do business for Krishna. If Krishna is the proprietor of the business, then Krishna should enjoy the profit of the business. If a businessman is in possession of thousands and thousands of dollars, and if he has to offer all this to Krishna, he can do it. This is work for Krishna. Instead of constructing a big building for his sense gratification, he can construct a nice temple for Krishna, and he can install the deity of Krishna and arrange for the deity's service as is outlined in the authorized books of devotional service. This is called Krishna Karma. One should not be attached to the result of his work, but the result should be offered to Krishna. One should also accept as prasadam, food, the remnants of offerings to Krishna. If, however, one is not able to construct a temple for Krishna, one can engage himself in cleansing the temple of Krishna. That is also Krishna Karma. One can cultivate a garden. You see how Prabhupada is giving all practical, what all we can do to do Krishna Karma. Anyone who has land, in India at least, any poor man has a certain amount of land, can utilize that for Krishna by growing flowers to offer him. He can sow tulsi plants because tulsi leaves are very important, and Krishna has recommended this in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna desires that one offer him either a leaf or a flower or a little water, and he is satisfied. This leaf especially refers to tulsi. So one can sow tulsi leaves and pour water on the plant. Thus even the poorest man can engage in the service of Krishna. These are some of the examples of how one can engage in working for Krishna. Next, then should I give up everything else? Prabhupada clarifies. The term Sangha Varjitaha is very significant. One should disassociate himself from persons who are against Krishna. Not only are the atheistic persons against Krishna, but also those who are attached to fruitive activities and mental speculation. Therefore, pure form of devotional service described in Bhagavad Gita in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu as follows. Anya vilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. So, he must be freed from the association of persons who are addicted to fruitive activities. When freed from such unwanted association, one favorably cultivates knowledge of Krishna. That is called pure devotional service. Then what is the result of that? A devotee of Krishna is friendly to everyone. Therefore, it is said here that he has no enemy. How is this? A devotee situated in Krishna consciousness knows that only devotional service to Krishna can relieve a person from all problems of life. He has personal experience of this, and therefore he wants to introduce this system, Krishna consciousness, into human society. There are many examples in history of devotees of the Lord risking their lives for spreading of God consciousness. The favorite example is Lord Jesus Christ. He was crucified by the non-devotees, but he sacrificed his life for spreading Krishna consciousness, God consciousness. Of course, it would be superficial to understand that he was killed. Similarly, in India also, there are many examples such as Thakur Haridas. Why such risk? Because they wanted to know that if a man is suffering, it is due to his forgetfulness of his eternal relationship with Krishna. Therefore, the highest benefit one can render to human society is relieving one's neighbor from all material problems. In such a way, a pure devotee is engaged in the service of the Lord. Now we can imagine how merciful Krishna is to those engaged in his service, risking everything for him. Therefore, it is certain that such persons must reach the supreme planet after leaving the body. So, why I am talking about this is in context of this verse. Today's verse talks about the appearance of Kalki. It is at the Yuga Sandhya, as we have understood. He appears at the end of Kali Yuga and beginning of Satya Yuga, and he will establish the new dharma, right? So this is the avatara, and it is said he appears at that time when all the people have become sinful, and especially it is said at that time rulers of the earth would have degenerated into plunderers. So here it is said Kalki comes only to kill, destroy all the demons and re-establish Satya Yuga. He will start Satya Yuga again. So it is very interesting, this chapter, Krishna is the source of all incarnations, chapter 3, it talks about various incarnations listed. Famous we know is only 10 incarnations. Dasavatar is what we understand. But here in this chapter, in this Bhagavatam first canto, the 22 incarnations have been mentioned. After mentioning the 22 incarnations, next shloka, in next week's shloka you will see that Vyasadeva is saying there are innumerable avatars, not just these 22. How many? He compares, there are as many incarnations as there are waves in the ocean. So there are so many incarnations. Now, what is incarnation, what is avatara, and what is the purpose of avatara is explained by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. It's the most famous verse, one of the most famous words of Bhagavad Gita about avatara. Can anyone tell what is that? After that? Correct. This everyone knows because Mahabharata, I think P.R. Chopra's Mahabharata, it starts with Yada Yada Hitamasi. You ask anyone outside, they will tell only these two shlokas and Karamanyevadikaraste. That is only Bhagavad Gita for them. So anyway, point is this shloka is very interesting. The 4th chapter, 8th shloka. Prabhupada has written amazing purport for this. Why I am discussing this is because this is what avatara is. We are talking here about Kali Yuga, Kalki, which is at Yuga Sandhya. Kalki avatar comes. But what are the various types of avatars that exist And why does Krishna take so many avatars? It is explained by Prabhupada so wonderfully in this purport. So the shloka, of course, is very famous, which all of us know. Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkrutam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. And in this purport, Prabhupada has broken down each word and explained that in the purport very beautifully. What is paritranaya, what is vinashaya, who is sadhu, who is dushkrita, what is avatara, what is dharma, and what is yuge yuge. Everything he explains. Very beautifully he says. Let's see and understand. First thing Prabhupada explains is who is a sadhu. Right? Let's understand from the light of Bhagavad Gita who is a sadhu, Prabhupada says. You generally, people say sadhu means he will not harm anyone, and dushkrita means one who harms others. But here Prabhupada gives a very elevated understanding, very different, very much mature, much higher understanding of who is a sadhu and who is a dushkrita. According to Bhagavad Gita, a sadhu or a holy man is a man in Krishna consciousness. It's not enough just if usually people say, sir, for me, do good, be good. That is dharma. Do good, be good is not enough. Here Prabhupada is saying, holy man is a man in Krishna consciousness. How? A person may appear to be irreligious, but if he has the qualifications of Krishna consciousness wholly and fully, he is understood to be a sadhu. And dushkritam applies to one who doesn't care for Krishna consciousness. He may be doing all good work. He may be giving charity, he may be engaged in many good activities, but if he doesn't care for Krishna consciousness, he is a dushkrita. One example of this is Jarasandha. Very good king, great king, pious king, respects Brahmanas. He gives charity to Brahmanas, but doesn't care for Krishna consciousness. Doesn't care for Krishna. Actually, he cares in a negative way. How? 18 times he attacked Krishna. And he is pious. He wants to give charity to Brahmanas, respect Brahmanas. And we know the story, it is there in Krishna book. Taking advantage of that only, Krishna went with Bhima and Arjuna, disguised as Brahmanas. And then they challenged for a duel, and then Bhima killed Jarasandha. We know that. So Jarasandha is considered dushkrita. So here, such miscreants or dushkritam are described as foolish and the lowest of mankind. Even though they may be decorated with mundane education, whereas another person who is 100% engaged in Krishna consciousness is accepted as sadhu, even though such a person may neither be learned nor well cultured. We have examples of this also. Neither learned nor well cultured. In Ramayana we see Shabari, Mata Shabari. She is not very learned, not well cultured. She was just a simple woman in the forest. Or Guha, that tribal king who gives Rama passage in his boat. So many such examples. Or take for instance Jatayu, the bird fought to save Mother Sita. So neither learned nor well cultured compared to Ravana, king of Lanka, born to a Brahmana father. He knows all the Vedas. He is expert in all performing so many rituals, Vedic sacrifices, all that. But he is Dushkrata. That's what Prabhupada says. As far as he is saying, as far as the atheistic are concerned, this is a very important point, he says. Now, he is talking about avatara, sambhavami. Prabhupada is saying. As far as the atheistic are concerned, it is not necessary for the Supreme Lord to appear as he is to destroy them. So usually people say, general understanding of avatara is, people think, why does Lord come? Because this is what is explained in the shloka, in the previous shloka, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanam adharmasya tadatmanam sahajam. I come to re-establish dharma whenever dharma is lost. But in this shloka, Prabhupada is giving a very nice point in the purport that to destroy the demons he need not come personally. Lord need not personally descend just to kill the demons. Why? Because he has so many agents, Prabhupada says here. It is not necessary for the Supreme Lord to appear as he is to destroy them, as he did with the demons Ravana and Kamsa. The Lord has many agents who are quite competent to vanquish demons. There is a story in Ramayana. Prabhupada says this. I don't know whether it is actually in Valmiki Ramayana, but Prabhupada narrates this story. He says about how, you would have heard this, when they were building the bridge, when the monkeys were building the bridge for going to cross over and over the ocean to cross over and go to Lanka. All the monkeys were bringing big rocks and they were dropping. Then one squirrel was also there. It is bringing small pebbles and it is putting. And the monkeys are all laughing at her. Hey, what this squirrel is doing? How these pebbles will make the bridge or what? So Lord Rama then said, you know why we are building this bridge? He asked the monkeys. Yes, my Lord, we know. Why? To cross over the bridge. Why should I cross over the ocean? No, because you have to fight Ravana, kill Ravana and rescue Sita. Then he said, but if I have to rescue Sita by killing Ravana, I am only Supreme Lord, Paramatma. If I just decide to come out of Ravana's head, he'll be dead. Why should I go cross the ocean, then fight, then kill, then rescue Sita? Not required. So why I am giving that? Because all of you have got an opportunity to engage in this activity by building the bridge. You have got recognition of doing this activity. For that purpose I have done. So similarly, here what Prabhupada is saying is, for killing the demons he need not come. So many agents are there. But the Lord comes for what? He comes only to appease. Lord especially descends to appease his unalloyed devotees who are always harassed by the demonic. The Lord did not come to kill Hiranyakashipu, but he came to appease Prahlad Maharaj. Lord did not come to kill Kamsa, but he came to rescue all these people who were harassed by Kamsa. So Lord Krishna appeared primarily to deliver Devaki rather than to kill Kamsa, but both were performed simultaneously. Therefore it is said that here that to deliver the devotee and vanquish the demon miscreants, the Lord appears in different incarnations. Now, what are these different incarnations? What is Avatara? Is next paragraph. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami gives the following verses to summarize the principles of incarnation. So, what are the various incarnations in the existence? In what all ways does Lord incarnate? The avatara or incarnation of Godhead descends from the kingdom of God for material manifestation, and the particular form of the personality of Godhead who descends is called incarnation or avatara. Such incarnations are situated in spiritual world. They are originally in spiritual world, but when they come to material world, they are called avataras. So what are these avataras? There are various kinds of avataras, such as Purusha avataras, Guna avataras, Leela avataras, Shakyavesha avataras, Manvantara avataras, and Yuga avatars, appearing on schedule all over the universe. So Lord Purusha avatars are what? Lord appears for the existence in 3 incarnation, Purusha forms, expansions of Karanodakashayi Vishnu, Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, Garbhodakashayi Vishnu. That is Purusha avatars. Guna avatars. The Lord, to control the modes of material nature, expands himself into controlling 3 gunas as Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. That is Guna avatars. For performing various leelas, Lord takes his own avatars of leela avatars. Like for example, to protect Prahlad Maharaj and to kill Hiranyakashipu, fulfilling all the conditions of what Brahma had granted to Hiranyakashipu. For doing that leela, he came as Narsimha. That is a leela. Narsimha is a leela. It's not that in spiritual world there is half man, half lion incarnation like that. He came specifically to fulfill that conditions. He came in that form. So that's a leela avatara. Then Shaktya-vesha avatara, when the Lord decides to empower his dear devotee and give his potencies to him, then the devotee will act as powerfully as the Lord. The Lord's power acts through the devotee. That is Shaktya-vesha avatara. Like Prabhupada, he is a Shaktya-vesha avatara. Then Manvantara avatara, once in the life of Manu, the Lord appears. That is a Manvantara avatara. Like we tell about Varahadev. There are 2 types of Varahadev. Who are they? Shweta Varaha and Rakta Varaha. Rakta Varaha appeared in one Manvantara, Shweta Varaha appeared in another Manvantara. So they are Manvantara avatars. Then Yuga avatars. Here Krishna is referring to in this shloka about Yuga avatara. Sambhavami Yuge Yuge, in every Yuga who appears. So then Prabhupada is giving all these kinds of avatars are there, and then all these Yuga avatars appearing on schedule all over the universe. This many avatars of the Lord are there. But Lord Krishna is the primeval Lord, the fountainhead of all avatars. Whom are we worshipping? Whom are we worshipping and whom are we devotees of? We are devotees of Krishna, who is the fountainhead of all these avatars. Why? Because Lord Krishna descends for the specific purpose, whereas all the avatars descend for a specific purpose for just delivering or appeasing the devotees, and simultaneously demons are killed. But Krishna is something even superior. Why Krishna appears? Krishna does not appear simply for appeasing the devotees. He is appearing for something else. What is this? Very beautifully Prabhupada says, specific purpose of mitigating the anxieties of the pure devotees. When a pure devotee is anxious for the Lord, for that, then Krishna himself comes. Who are very anxious to see him in his original Vrindavan pastime. Therefore, the prime purpose of the Krishna avatara is to satisfy his unalloyed devotees. In Kartika month we sing the Damodara Ashtaka. In that Damodara Ashtaka there is one, in the 3rd shloka there is one statement. What is that? Akyapayantam. Anyone remembers? Idam te mukhambajam atyanta neelar. That one or the next one? Damodara Ashtaka, someone can open, it will get. Damodara, yes. Here it is. Iti drik swalila bir ananda kunde swagosham nimajjantam akyapayantam. This is exactly what Prabhupada is telling here in the purport. Why does Lord come? The word Akhyapayantam, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has written in the commentary for this. He says, Akhyapayantam means a promotional advertisement. So Lord Krishna's descent is a spiritual world tourism advertisement. He wants to show this is how it is. Come back home. This is how it is there. You will enjoy like this. That's why Satyavata Muni is telling here, Iti Driksvalila Vir Ananda Kunde. It is like drowning in the ocean of ecstasy by looking at you. For that drop you are showing here, you are giving a glimpse of it in Gokula. So that is why Krishna appears. Krishna's incarnation is so special. He is coming to give spiritual tourism advertisement, not for anything else. He is promoting. This is what is our home. This is what is spiritual abode. Why are you suffering here? Come to me. Let's go back. That's what Krishna wants to do. So the Lord says that He incarnates Himself in every millennium. Now we are coming to the conclusion of this, very beautiful. This indicates that He incarnates also in the age of Kali, right? Here we read in the Kalki incarnations at Yuga Sandhya, at the end of Kali Yuga. But now we are not in the end of Kali Yuga. Prabhupada explained in the purport. We have another 4,27,000 years to go. So what about now in Kali Yuga, as stated in the Shrimad Bhagavatam, the incarnation in the age of Kali is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who spread the worship of Krishna by the Sankirtana movement, congregational chanting of the holy name, and spread Krishna consciousness throughout India. He predicted that this culture of Sankirtan would be broadcast all over the world, from town to town and village to village. So Lord Chaitanya is the incarnation of Krishna. The personality of Godhead is described secretly but not directly in the confidential parts of the revealed scriptures, such as the Upanishads, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam, etc. So Yuge Yuge, this shloka Prabhupada is explaining, because he said Sambhavami Yuge Yuge, that means all the 4 yugas he should appear. So in Kali Yuga, it is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who is Channa Avatara, who is hidden incarnation, who appears only as devotee. People don't know him as the Avatara. And what is the speciality of this Avatara of the Lord? He is called Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Padayate. Mahavadanyaya Avatara. Why? Rupa Goswami glorified him as Mahavadanyaya Avatara. Whereas Kalki is there only to kill, to destroy. Of course, the Lord killing is also as good as Lord protecting, because if he kills, he is killing the body and relieving that soul, conditioned soul, from the misery of this material body. He is ending his sinful activity. That is also good. But speciality of this Channa Avatara, Mahavadanyaya Avatara is what? Is the last statement. Very beautiful, clinching statement of this purport. The devotees of Lord Krishna are much attracted by the Sankirtana movement of Lord Chaitanya. Why? This avatar of the Lord, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's avatara, does not kill the miscreants, but delivers them by the causeless mercy of the Lord. So, if you read this purport's last line and then you read the shloka will be altered to read like this. Paritranaya sadhunam, not vinashaya cha dushkritam. Paritranaya sadhunam, paritranaya cha dushkritam. That is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is here to deliver even miscreants. The very fact that we are all sitting here is an evidence of that. Forget about us, what Prabhupada did to the people who have not even heard the word Krishna. Before Prabhupada went to America, none of them had even heard the word Krishna. To them, just by chanting the holy name, he delivered. That is the power of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the holy name. Because he did not kill. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not kill the miscreants. but he delivers them. This is the speciality. Therefore, in this age, even though we are seeing so many around us, so much chaos, so much disturbance, so much irreligion, so much terror, in this age, at this time, the Lord has decided to descend in which form? As Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's descent is in what form? Kali Kale Krishna Nama Rupa Avatar. In his name he has descended. And in this name, he will not kill anyone. In this avatara, he will not kill anyone. Simply by delivering this Harinam, he will deliver the miscreants. So if we become agents to carry this Harinam, not just for sadhus, to miscreants, everyone, because 99.99% of the people of the world are Dushkrita only. According to the definition which Prabhupada gave in the purport in the first line. In the first line, Prabhupada said, sadhu is only who is in Krishna consciousness, otherwise they are all Dushkritas only. Even the people who are terrorized and people who are committing terror, both of them are Dushkrita only in that sense. So only way to deliver is actually deliver by giving Harinam. Actually, we should be the agents of giving Harinam Sankirtan. That is how we can carry Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this Yuga's avatara, and become assistant, become instrument in the hands of Lord Chaitanya, and be able to bring about the golden age in this iron age of Kali. I'll end with one small anecdote where Prabhupada went to Europe once, to Hungary. In Hungary, devotees had gone and performed Hare Krishna Sankirtan. Hungarian people, they never heard something called Krishna only. They don't know Hindu, Krishna, nothing they know. And devotees have gone there, distributed books, built a community, and Prabhupada came to install the deities of Nitai Gauranga in Hungary there. And then Prabhupada goes there and he sits, and the deity, it's all ready for deity installation. Prabhupada comes and sits there. And he looks at the lords and he looks at all the people who are sitting there. All of them, Hungarian, white-skinned, no idea what is happening there. What is this deity installation? What are deities? What is this Nita? Who is this Nitai? Who is Gauranga? They have no idea whatsoever. The people who have come guess. And they are just curiosity. Out of curiosity, they have come and they are sitting. Then Prabhupada starts talking. He says, Parama Karuna Pavudui Jana Nitai Gaura Chanda. He says, you are all so fortunate because these two most compassionate lords have decided to come to you, to Hungary. And then Prabhupada's voice chokes and he starts crying. He's not able to go further. Actually, from pure devotee's vision, even from ordinary vision for us, we can make out, we are all Indians. How many of us before coming to Krishna consciousness, before coming to ISKCON, knew Nitai Gauranga? Even being Indians, how many of us knew Nitai Gauranga before we came to ISKCON? In history textbook. I heard some 3 lines were there. Lord Chaitanya, he was a social and religious reformer of 15th century or 16th century something. That's all. And Nitai and all, forget, nobody knows. Nityananda, though, nobody has heard only. And for us only it is so rare. Imagine Prabhupada going and installing Nitai Gauranga deities in Hungary. They have not heard Krishna, Rama, Hindu, that only they don't know. And he's telling two most passionate lords have come here. So that's why Prabhupada's voice choked, because he thought that what is the mercy of Lord Chaitanya that he has come to these people. So therefore Srila Prabhupada is the commander-in-chief of Lord Chaitanya's army. Lord Chaitanya just made a declaration. He just told, Prithvite ache yata nagaradigram sarvatra prachara hoime maranam. Over. He just gave a statement and he left. He did not go personally, physically. He only did Sankirtan in the streets of Navadvip, Mayapur. Later in Jagannath Puri he was in front of Ratha. He did not go to Prithvite ache yata nagaradigram. But he made the statement. Because he made that statement, so many people were there after when he made that statement, and after he made that statement, who have read that statement, so many people are there. Why nobody did? Why nobody could do? Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicts, as we have heard that Bhaktivinoda Thakur predicted that Senapati Bhakta will come, who will do it. It's a very nice anecdote again about this only, that when people read this, most of them started giving their own interpretations of what that verse means. Prithvite ache yata nagaradigram. Someone said, oh, I think it means all of Bengal. All the villages of Bengal, all towns of Bengal. Somebody said, no, not only Bengal, Bengal and Orissa also. Because there also Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has gone. Then somebody said, no, it is South India also, because there also he went. Then somebody said, no, it all over India it will spread, that much. Nobody even envisioned that it can go outside India. And then one of the devotees Prabhupada's godbrother says that when they were discussing, one of them told that no, this seems impossible. How it is possible to fulfill this? Then that time Prabhupada was a grihastha, he was abhay. And he says, no, it will happen. And someone will do, you will see it in future. Nobody thought one grihastha, one pharmacist, he will go and fulfill this prediction. But Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, all of them knew. Therefore, Prabhupada could do it. Prabhupada could take Nitai Gauranga to Hungary, in a place where nobody has even heard Rama, Krishna, India, Hindu, nothing. And there he is installing Nitai Gauranga and they are worshipping Nitai Gauranga. What a mercy Prabhupada has carried. So therefore, if we become agents of this Mahavadanyaya Avtara Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, under the Commander-in-Chief Srila Prabhupada, then only we can actually bring about proper dharma. Because the yuga dharma is to chant the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So irrespective of whatever is going on around us, if we are having one pointed focus on personally ourselves, Janma Sarthaka Kari, chanting Hare Krishna mantra, taking this Sankirtan to ourselves and Kara Paravapakar and giving everyone this Hare Krishna mantra, that is the only way to establish any peace in this world. With this we'll conclude. If anyone has any questions, you can ask. Questions or comments? Yes, sir.
We say that going back to Godhead, you have to do bhakti for the Lord. Some religions say going back to Godhead means you have to pay all the non-believers. So, it's all perception made by their scripture or a scripture they say. Because if somebody is new, we don't know anything. One says, if you love God, you will go to. One says, once, until unless it's all those who are non-believers will be killed, they will be, then only you will able to. So, how to justify whether this is the correct path or not?
First of all, the conception which is explained in Vedic literature versus what is there in other scriptures is very, very different. You have to understand there itself. The standard itself is different. What is the standard difference? I'll tell you. In Vedic literature, we have complete understanding of the existence. As you can see at the back of this room, it is there. What is the existence? We have material world. In the material world, what are the planetary systems which are there? Lower planetary system, middle planetary system, upper planetary system, and beyond that is spiritual world. What in the other scriptures, not even in other scriptures, even in our own Vedic scriptures itself, this is Bhagavatam's version, but in our Vedic scriptures only, many places, very especially Karma Kanda portion, they will talk about do this vrata, do that vrata, do this yajna, do this tapasya, do this thing, and you will go to Swarga. And Swargaloka is described of what is the Sargaloka's facilities there is described. Now if you correlate this with what is there in these other scriptures, they are also actually talking about Swarga. Because we know, you go to heaven, there you will get 72 virgins. There you will be able to enjoy so much wine, intoxication, everything you will get. You can eat whatever you want. You will be served by all those people. All this is what they say. It is, in one sense, it is actually not completely false also, because there exist such places. Which is our Swargalokas, Vedas also say. There are Apsaras. Correct? There are Apsaras, there is Somarasa, there is this. But by doing punya you can go there. That Vedic literature also says. What are those punyas also? It is many, if you get into details of Karma Kanda, you will know for which one, which destination you will get also. You do this one, then you will get this. So now, how many misinterpretations have happened in those scriptures? Setting aside that, even if there are misinterpretations and different versions, all that, even if you take it literally as what it is also, it is maximum talking about a heavenly planet, not about the spiritual world. Why? Very simple logic I will tell you. In this world, they are telling you how to practice abstinence, you should not do intoxication, you should have only sex within your boundaries of this thing, according to prescribed. Why? By doing all that, you will get spiritual, you will go to heaven. In heaven, what I will do? You will get unlimited intoxication, unlimited sex. अरे यहाँ पे मिल रहा है, यहाँ पे क्यों नहीं करना है, वहाँ पे जाके क्यों करना है? That means it is like their description of a heaven is like a rave party in the nightclub of Goa. Maybe little prologue, that's all. So it is Swarga. It is not spiritual world. But even our Vedic literatures talk about Swarga. Not that it is not talking about Swarga. It is like what I explained about Lalu Balu Kalu story. It is first class prison cell. In the first class prison you have first class facilities, but it is still prison. What Bhagavad Gita says, Kshine Punye Martya Lokam Ishanti, even Abrahma Bhavana Lokan Punaravartinachana. You have to come back even if you go there. Now, in these scriptures, what they are not telling is, because they were dealing with very, very primitive people. You should understand. We all know, Prabhupada says this, that Prophet Muhammad had to say, you should not have sex with your sister and mother and daughter. That is one of the statements given by Prophet Muhammad. Why should he have to say that? Because people were in that level. They were doing. And he had to tell you should not. So he was dealing with very, very primitive people. So he is only telling basic moral things. Bhaiya, ye mat karo, ye karne se, if you do, you will, and he has to convince them, entice them, so that they will follow at least that much. So he will tell, you do this, then you will go there. There you enjoy. Here you don't enjoy, there you will enjoy. Now you don't intoxicate, there you will get so much intoxication. Now you don't have all this sex, there you will get sex. So at least with the hope of I will get there, they will not have here. Now with respect to what you are telling, you kill people, then you will get. We don't know where the flow got misinterpreted, for whose purpose, because there have been many tyrants who have used this religion to justify and expand their kingdoms. That's how they ruled 700 years over us. For their agenda, they can get it changed. Not necessary that it is what the main preceptor originally intended. So somewhere around the just like here, our Bhagavad Gita, our scriptures also have got changed, no? So many for their own agendas people have changed. Similarly, there also it has been changed. So what we have to say here, when people compare like this, see they are telling this, you are telling this. We have to say, sir, both are completely different. Actually, both are not referring to the same place at all. They are referring to Swarga. We have to explain that yes, there are places called Swarga, where all this exists, which Vedic literatures also say. But we are not telling people to go to Swarga. We are not telling you move from third class prison cell to first class prison cell. We are telling get out of the prison. Spiritual world is getting out of prison. And there what is there? Nobody is telling in spiritual world that you will have unlimited intoxication, unlimited sex. No, what we are saying, you are engaged in eternal devotional service of the Lord. And that is very unattractive for a conditioned soul currently. Means, वहाँ पे भी जाके servant बनना पड़ेगा. So therefore sadhana, when we are doing sadhana, then we will develop taste for actual devotional service, and then we will actually enjoy, relish doing service. Only when you have developed sufficient taste to relish devotional service, you can enter there. Then you will not feel miserable being servant. Now we are feeling miserable being servant. So we are practicing sadhana and becoming, understanding how to be happy, because that is our original position. Because anyway we are doing service here also to so many other things. So how to relish actual service. This is what spiritual, our Bhagavata Dharma is teaching this. So long and short of all these things is, this whole philosophy, of course, this much detail is there. Now these masses of people will not understand this much, they neither have the time or energy to explain this. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made it very simple for masses. He said, Jo bhi ho, chinta mat karo, chant Hari. Don't worry. Just chant. He told you chant, no problem. That's why he told, Chaitanya Charitamrita says this. Those Pathans, those Muslim soldiers who are coming to, imprison this thing, when Chandkazi ordered, they should not do, they also started chanting Hare Krishna. That is the power of holy name. So holy name will compress all those knowledge. Whatever this much I spoke, all that is compressed in this Hare Krishna mantra. Just they take Hare Krishna mantra, they start chanting Hare Krishna mantra, it will automatically done. So that's all is required. Therefore, that's why Prabhupada is stressing, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is stressing so much that Bhagavad Dharma you do is promote chanting Hare Krishna mantra. That's all. We don't need to, of course, because there are people who are having this kind of intellectual doubts. For them, we have to explain that, see sir, there are two different things. One is Swarga, one is Goloka or Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha is different from Swarga. What is Vaikuntha? Vigata Kunta iti Vaikuntha. Swarga is not Vigata Kunta. There also Kunta is there. Indra himself is in anxiety. Forget about you go to Swarga and become anxiety-less. That person who is ruling Swarga only is having anxiety. So that is not Vaikuntha. So we have to give that much distinction. Our scriptures describe much more detail. They are dealing with very primitive people, so they taught only this much. That's the idea. Okay. Does that answer your question, Prabhu? Thank you. Hare Krishna. That's all. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.